Good afternoon, everybody. This is Joanne Stevens, and this is our Thursday call-in show. We have a special guest today that I will be introducing in a few minutes, and that is Maria Horton of Newport Pacific family of companies. And Maria is in the third-party management of mobile home parks and communities, and she's going to tell us a lot about what their company does for park owners, and even how some park owners, instead of selling their parks or communities, are actually hiring a third party company such as Newport Pacific to manage their properties. But before I introduce Maria, I want to make a few announcements. I want people to know that the August newsletter will be on the website shortly, and that's on joannemstevens.com. You can go to that website, joannemstevens.com, and click on the newsletter. If you prefer us to email or mail the newsletter, we'll be happy to do that also. And you can just give me a call, 319-378-6786, or call Kristen, 319-378-6818, and she'll take care of that for you. Also want to remind people of the Mobile Home Park Symposium here in Cedar Rapids, December 11th and 12th. And at that symposium, we will have an appraiser panel. We will have an accountant talking about capital gains taxes and 1031 exchanges. We'll have a financial planner who's a very accomplished financial planner. We'll have a workshop on operating communities for maximum profitability, and a workshop on how to maximize the value and the sale price of your community. So look for more information about that on the website, and that'll be up soon. Also wanted to remind our listeners that next week, next Thursday at 1 p.m. Central Time, our speaker, that date is August 3rd, our speaker will be a representative from the police department in Des Moines, Iowa, and that speaker will be talking about crime prevention in multifamily properties. So that will be an important learning for community and park owners. So I want to introduce our speaker, Maria Horton. And Maria Horton is a property manager. She has spoken at many industry events. She's a member of the Western California Manufactured Housing Association. She's a member of the Manufactured Housing Institute. And in fact, she spoke at the May conference in Las Vegas for the Manufactured Housing Institute. And her topic was, what are the alternatives to selling a park if an owner needs help running the property but doesn't necessarily want to sell? And she is very involved with her clients when she takes over the management of a park or a community. So, Maria, are you with us?
I am with you, Joanne. Good morning. Thank you so much for this opportunity. What a pleasure to be with you and everyone out there.
Well, we're happy you could join us. And Maria, I would think, I know one of the owners of your company, Mike Sullivan, and I would like you to talk a little bit. I want to talk first about Newport Pacific and all the things that your company is involved in, just an overview. And then I want to ask you specifically about Mike Sullivan and the special award that he's being given next month at the Hall of Fame.
So Joanne, I'm happy to talk about Newport Pacific. That's what I do all the time, and it's such a pleasure to be affiliated with a company like this. Newport Pacific has been in existence. It's a family of companies and has been in existence for 37 years now, and we are accredited through IREM as an AMO certified company, management company, which is a very, very high certification, and we are so proud to certainly have that affiliation. And we specialize in mobile home park management. We also specialize in apartments, RV resorts. We specialize in marina management as well as HOA management. So we do a little bit of everything related to housing, apartments. We do anything related to housing. So it's such a pleasure to do the management end, because it certainly is something that is helpful to all of mankind, providing housing and working with our residents the way we do. We are a special group. So I am pleased to announce that. We also have another company that is part of our umbrella of companies. The company that we have is called Cirrus Development. They are a construction end of our company, and they provide us with adding additional RV sites at RV parks that we oversee. They can add additional mobile home park sites. They also can help us with any other construction projects that come up throughout our management of communities, and certainly that is an asset to us as well. We have, in addition, we have a sales department company that sells home sales, and that is Modular Lifestyles. Modular Lifestyles is a wonderful company that is promoting at this time very high energy efficient homes. We are famous for doing some net zero homes and are currently working with cities to do tiny home villages and provide affordable housing and in all types of atmospheres where certainly the need is greatest. And we have been a really a wonderful company that is aware of the housing needs of all of the country, and are working to just work across the country and help wherever we can.
Well, Maria, that is a pretty astounding list of things that you do. I mean, those are things that most companies need. Many community owners, park owners do have extra ground that they have would like to develop, but it's easy that there's more to development than just saying, "Oh, I want to develop some additional sites." And especially the home sales part of it, and it's very intriguing with the tiny home villages and working with the cities.
Oh, yes. They've become so popular. It is really amazing to us how quickly the tiny home took off because of television shows and the like, advertising. But people are so pleased with the minimalistic living. There is such a movement now to do that, and millennials and seniors are downsizing and moving into that that atmosphere, because that is affordable, and that is something that they can hope for and achieve and purchase, and it's really quite a phenomenon right now. We're excited to be part of it.
Well, it is, and don't you think here in the United States that even though we have a great many people renting apartments, renting single-family homes, renting mobile homes, probably a larger number than any before, don't you think that the home ownership desire is pretty
absolutely.
deep?
Absolutely. That is still everyone's goal. Wouldn't we all love to be homeowners and actually be able to claim that as ours? And I mean, it's still the American dream to have home ownership. Certainly, I totally agree with you. I think it's everyone's goal to really own a home, and And so when it's affordable and possible, I mean, oh my goodness, it's such a pleasure to be part of that achievement when you see the excitement in a family, achieving that goal, or a senior being able to achieve that goal, or just millennials, because they are breaking away from their families and moving on their own, and they certainly want to have that same American goal of home ownership. And so
Yes,
it's great to be a part of it.
yes, yes, it is. And so, Maria, before we get more into talking about the development and the property management and the
Uh-huh.
home sales, tell us about the Hall of Fame and Mike Sullivan. You're one of the founders of Newport Pacific Family of Companies, and what is happening next month?
We are so pleased to announce that Mike Sullivan, our CEO, is now going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. He has been accepted and is part of the class of 2017, and it is such an honor to be recognized. This museum is such a tremendous showpiece for our industry. I truly wish that everyone could stop by and see this museum in Elkhart, Indiana. It is a treasure that has been built to our industry, and to have Mike be part of this, the recognition for the hard work that he has put in for all the 37 years that he has been doing this is tremendous. We are so pleased. He will be recognized and be given an award for actually being inducted, and he will go on the Hall of Fame wall in the museum, and it is a choice select group that is recognized each year, and it's truly an honor, and we are so pleased for him that he is going to be part of this whole ceremony. And I am so blessed that I get to be there, so I am definitely excited to see it all happen too.
Well, Mike definitely deserves this honor. And you're right, the Hall of Fame and the museum is definitely something to see. And if people are interested in attending the induction dinner on the night of August 7th, they
Yeah,
can still register or sign up to go. And if you go to
absolutely.
my website, joannemstevens.com, and click on at the top, save the date, there will be a link to register, to sign up, or just how to get information on how to attend. Or did you have anything to add to that, Maria?
Absolutely. There are representatives there from every aspect of our industry. There are members, there are vendors there are members who have been in this industry for, just so many years, that come together once a year to acknowledge the special people that are inducted. And it is truly amazing to see all the manufacturers, all the RV members, all the mobile home members, all just, everyone coming together, because it's all our industry put together that is acknowledging this award. And so it's truly amazing. It's an event that no one should miss. If you have the opportunity, please try to make an effort to be there. It is a beautiful ceremony. It is a beautiful banquet, and you will hear the many stories of the people who are inducted. I believe there are 10 people, or perhaps 8. I'm not remembering whether it's 8 or 10 that are inducted each year, and they are going to be inducted, and they give a history of what it is that they have done through the years. A short history, very short, because it certainly would take all night to go through some of these people who have been in the
Right.
business as long as they have. But a short rundown on what they've done, where they see the industry going, and their appreciation for everyone that's gotten them there. So it's really
Sure.
quite an exciting night.
Well, thank you for sharing that information with us, and we're thrilled for Mike Sullivan and everyone at your company. And so, Maria, why don't we talk a little bit about how does a property owner, what's a typical property owner how did they get involved with Newport Pacific if they're looking for somebody to help run their park or their community?
We, well, there are many ways that this happens. It can take place just by a manager visiting a neighbor park that talks to another manager that happens to mention that their ownership is changing and that perhaps the lease is running out on their park and they're not sure whether or not they're going to be staying with the park because this is a small industry, and certainly neighbors talk to each other and in this industry, and we recently had one manager talk to another manager close by that said, we just don't know what's going to happen because our lease is up on the land, the lease where the management contract with the current owner, the lease is going to be up, and so the property owners are going to be taking over this park, and so they have never been affiliated with the park, and so we just don't know what to expect. So we got in touch. As a matter of fact, I did this personally. I got in touch with the ownership, the current ownership, and I spoke to them about the situation and said, gee, I understand that the lease is going to be ending on this property, and so it will be going back to the ownership. And they were very, very gracious about it and said yes, and this would be the group to contact for any future endeavors, because when it does end, we will be terminated. So anyway, we got in touch with the new ownership, were actually the landowners, and they agreed to meet with us. We explained who we were and that we had parks close by to them, and we're very familiar with everything in the city, with city management for the city that the park was located in. And so, and certainly we've been in the business for so many years, and so they were very happy to hear from us, as a matter of fact, and agreed to come down and meet with us. So they came to our offices and we met and spoke about what's involved in managing the park for them and offered them many options as to what we do. And they were so excited because they were landowners that actually were in other businesses, that all their lives they had been in other businesses and had developed other businesses, that they really weren't interested in doing park management. And they were inheriting this park on the land, and they didn't want the land to go away, and they didn't necessarily want the park to go away because they saw that there was a possibility of great revenue here. But so they spoke to us about this, and we offered them an opportunity, and we explained what we offer, and they agreed that we would be they would go back. They spoke to other possibilities. We gave them other names of other companies as well, so that they would know who to contact in this industry, because they were not familiar with the industry. So they spoke to other management companies as well, and came back to us, and we're thrilled, and we're ready to sign a contract with us. So we are so excited that they are going to come on, and that's just one possibility of just how things can develop. We believe in developing relationships that put owners at ease, that a management company is going to manage their asset to the highest potential, and to really take over and not have them have the headaches involved, and not worry about is everything following the law of park management, is everything flowing well, are the residents happy, is this going to stay the same. So it was quite a lengthy development of the relationship, talking to them and meeting with them, but it worked out so well, and we will soon be taking over as soon as the lease is up, which is coming shortly. But that's just one example. Another example would be that we are members of associations across the country. We go out and we promote Newport Pacific. We are members of the National Association, certainly MHI, our national association, that we go out and we represent Newport Pacific at their meetings and promote our management to companies and to owners alike across the country, because we have parks that we oversee across the country. We are not specifically in California. We have started, and our corporate office is in California, but we have always been spread out across the country, and we have recently been spreading out to many states across the country. We are in the South. We are just heavily involved in Texas. We have properties, in Arizona, Nevada, Missouri, Tennessee, Kentucky, Georgia. We are quite a few places now, and so we are so excited to be national and to keep up with what is involved in this national management of communities, because there are laws that differ from state to state, and so uh, we have word of mouth in being out there advertising our company, and so people do come to us and say, oh, we meet people at meetings, and I am currently working with somebody now who is possibly purchasing some parks in Oregon, and they're considering purchase in Oregon, and they are investors, and they are, certainly going to talk to us about possibly managing, because they are not interested in managing the communities. So there are a lot of investors as well out there that don't necessarily want to be managing these communities, but they are investing in communities, mobile home park communities, because certainly they are revenue generators. So there are many different options that happen. I can tell you about another one as well. we have,
Yeah.
we have,
Well, before you do
go
it, let
ahead.
me ask you a question because, um, I know your company is known for its professionalism. What are the
Certainly.
things that you and your company do that you can do better than an owner can do?
Oh, certainly. We train our managers. We train our managers to be involved in in awareness of city politics. We train our owners to be involved in the laws that apply to community management wherever they are located. We train our managers in customer service. We train our managers so well. It's really important to us that we provide that professionalism, that we ask. We certainly promote that we are promoting and providing to our owners. Um, that is a those are major issues, making sure that we are compliant with laws, federal laws, fair housing laws, making sure that our managers are aware of their behavior in dealing with residents and dealing with new residents as they come into communities, and leases and various other issues that arise. And so training is really a big factor that we offer, to make sure professionalism, as well as having a regional manager that oversees that manager. We have regional managers that are assigned to uh, our communities, and they oversee the management of the managers and making sure that those managers are attending classes and ensuring that they are handling whatever expenses are involved. We provide our owners with financial statements monthly and with letters explaining everything that is happening in that community, any expenses that arise. We are constantly in contact with our owners if there is a desire to be contacted. A lot of owners do not wish to be contacted. They want you to actually operate the community and not bother them unless there is a major issue. But there are some owners who are hands-on, who want to know everything that's happening in the community. So we do either by email or by phone or in the monthly letter if that is sufficient for them. Some owners are pleased with a monthly letter explaining everything that has happened, all resident issues, all expense issues, everything that is happening within that community, so that they understand completely what revenue is being generated, what expenses are being generated, and and we certainly are happy to do that for them, because that's the professionalism that we offer. Our regional managers are well trained as well. They attend classes as well as managers so that they know exactly what is expected. And so it's all the way up the ladder. Our executives are also very aware and visit the parks. They are, I can't tell you how many times Mike drives into communities and will walk in on a manager. Mike Sullivan will walk in and say, "Hello, I'm Mike Sullivan." And because he is overseeing whether or not those managers are doing their job and whether or not they are trained well. And so he likes to know that his community is operating to the best of that, the best in that zip code is what we
Mm-hmm.
like to say.
Oh,
So
that's a good a slogan. The best in the zip code.
correct, correct.
um, and speaking of managers and training managers, when you
Mhm.
take over a community, do you normally bring in your own employees, or do you use if there's an existing manager, do you hire and train that manager?
Well, Joanne, that's an interesting aspect of taking over properties. What it's unique to the property, dependent upon the ownership. If ownership would like us to keep the manager, then we work with that manager to keep that manager on. There are times when the ownership does not wish to keep the manager on and wishes us to bring in new management, and we do so. Or there are times when that manager may not be able to keep up with our demands because perhaps we are expecting that they have to learn to do a rent roll on the computer in a different system,
Sure.
and sometimes
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it can be challenging for someone who's been a manager in a community for many years, and a new company comes in with new ideas and new ways of operating, and certainly they it can be overwhelming. So it
Mm-hmm.
just depends on the situation itself, really. We're happy to keep managers on if they are, able to keep up with what we ask of our managers, and we do ask a lot of our managers because we feel that that is the first in line for that property to succeed. For anyone walking in the door, that that manager is certainly the first in line for providing that person that's coming in the door with the overview of what that property is about. If that property is a successful, happy property that the residents are pleased with, then that manager will exude that. If things are not going well, then that does come out as well. And so we always like our managers to be certainly the first in line to be welcoming, warm, and inviting to the community, because that person may purchase a home in your community. That person may tell their neighbors about what a wonderful community you have. I mean, that's certainly
Sure.
important to all of us to keep that image going well.
And Maria, do you do a turnaround? Let's say, for example, a property has gotten into disrepair, or the rents are there's vacant sites, there's physical improvements that need to be done, such as streets.
Oh
Do
yes.
you do the?
Oh
Oh,
yes.
okay, okay.
What we do when we first take over a community, Joanne, what we do is we go in and we do an overview of the entire community. We look at the infrastructure of utilities. We look at everything in the community, and we want to give the owner a straightforward understanding of what kind of condition the community is truly in, because we really don't. There are surprises all the time in this business. Certainly, there are times when electrical will go out, or we'll have problems with gas leaks or pipe breaks or whatever. That's the nature of the business. But
Hmm.
if we are aware and we go in and we take a close look at the property and let the owner know what we have found and do our due diligence about the community and what what we feel are issues that will be coming up, then it gives the owner a sense of comfort that it's not a surprise that we are going to need to do the streets, or we do ask the ownership to please provide us with any history of the community as well. If the streets were just done last year, that's fantastic. Then that gives us a history of what we need to plan for the next 5 years or the next several years as to what will need repair. It's but there are always surprises, but we try very hard to really be honest and forthright with our ownership to let them know what kind of condition we feel we assess that the park is in, so that they will know what to expect, and it's not a surprise when they have to do some digging and have to do some repairs, that perhaps the pool is in poor condition, perhaps some of the amenities need repair. And so those are things that, and looking at it from another standpoint, in investing in the community, when we want to go in and update a property or invest in the property, we talk to our ownership about what it is that they want to do. Do they want to increase their property value? Everyone wants to increase their property value, and what that's going to take. It could be just an overall upgrade to the clubhouse. It could be in painting the buildings, the common areas. It could be landscaping, new landscaping. There are so many things that will increase property value that are just little projects maybe that really make a difference. And so that's what we're about. We want to get the highest potential for that owner to have a wonderful property, and that one that they can be proud of, and one that we're proud of as well.
Right. And Maria, I wanted to remind our listeners that this call will end promptly at 1:40. So we have a little time left, but I wanted to ask you to tell our listeners how they can reach you. Should they call you, email you? What's the best?
Oh, there are many different ways. We have a website. It would be www.newportpacific.com. Our website is one way that you can certainly get in touch with us. We have, our office is here. We have in Irvine, California, and we can give you a telephone number, but I can give you my email address directly as well. It is maria@newportpacific.com. So you can get in touch with me that way. I have a telephone number. You can call our office. Our office number is 949-852-5575. That's our office here. I am happy to speak with anyone anytime. Please don't hesitate to call us with any questions. I have visited a great deal throughout the Midwest, throughout the South, throughout the Northeast, and all over the country, really, to visit community owners and visit with them and speak to them. And I'm so pleased to hear from them anytime they have questions about what we offer. And so please don't hesitate to contact me. Once again, maria@newportpacific.com. That should be easy enough, but our website is up and certainly offers a lot of information about what we do as well, and gives you a kind of a compilation of all our parks and how beautiful our parks are, and we're pleased. We're just so pleased to be in this industry, and I love what I do, and it certainly comes out in my voice, because I really feel that I touch people's lives in helping them with their housing needs, and that's truly an accomplishment in life, to really make a difference. So.
It is for sure. This affordable housing makes a tremendous difference in the lives of the residents of these communities. And Maria, it sounds like many of your communities are just top level communities. Would you call them perhaps 5-star communities? And what about somebody who has maybe a 3-star community? Is that a community?
Yes, Absolutely. We have all types of communities. We we have we have communities now that have that are in the fields, in migrant worker fields. We have communities that we oversee, but we treat them all with the same amount of respect, and we love all of our communities. Our managers are top notch, and they do an excellent job no matter what type of community it is. We have, we have RV parks, we have trailer parks, we have RV resorts that are, beautiful, but we also have, very small communities that have been owned by families for years that are not, they're mom and pop places, and they are small, but they're beautiful parks as well. All parks can be beautiful parks,
That's right.
and
That's
just
a good point.
oh yes, the size and the amount of money put in is not the not the end all factor. There are so many factors involved, and it's a matter of caring about what you do and making sure that the people living in those communities are pleased with their community, and it all comes together. We have so many different types of parks. We have small parks, we have very large parks, we have parks with rentals, parks that are just, owned homes by residents, resident-owned homes, and we have, every possible type. So,
Okay, well, that's good to know. And I think one question our listeners may have is, how long of a contract do they have to sign with your company?
Normally, we will sign a contract, and I believe that if anyone, it will be for 2 years, up to 2 years. And if someone wants to reconsider what we have done, or end that contract, certainly they can give us notice, 60-day notice, I believe.
Okay.
And so that's never a problem. But certainly we like to be, we certainly don't like to have our properties go away from us, but we have a contract that can be 1 year, it can be 2 years, it can be 5 years. It really is up to the ownership to decide the amount of time, but that's certainly something that can be worked out in our legal negotiations and
Sure.
setting that up.
Sure. And Maria, in the remaining minutes, and I have a feeling I'm going to have you come back as a guest in the future, because there's things I feel like we're just scratching the surface. But
yes,
one of the things that you mentioned to me, and I know you spoke about this at the Manufactured Housing Institute in Las Vegas in May, is that some park owners, if there is a death or people are hiring third-party management companies such as the Newport Pacific to manage their property in lieu of selling the property. Are you seeing owners do that more now than in the past?
Absolutely. We have ownership that have passed on, and we certainly are happy to assist the family because the family does not want to sell the property. So we certainly step in and will assist in taking over the management in that case, and certainly with whoever is legally in charge that would like us to assist them, because it is a difficult time, a very difficult time, when a family has operated the community forever, and then perhaps there are children that are not involved and do not want to be involved, and so we do take over, and we're happy to assist in that case as well.
Well, thank you, Maria. This has been a very informative show, and I think this is a line of business that more park owners and community owners will want to look into as an alternative, both for the operations. We're having more and more park owners that are getting older and they're getting a little tired, and also in lieu of a sale, to hire a third-party management such as Newport Pacific. Well, I want to thank Maria, and we will have Maria back in the future to tell us more about what she does to manage parks and communities. So thank you very much, Maria.
Thank you, Joanne, for having me. It's been a pleasure talking to you and your listeners, and I do hope that you will look into this. The listeners will look into this and look us up, and you know, we're happy to speak to them at any time, even, you know, just to answer any questions they have. So I look forward to speaking to you again, Joanne. Thank you again.
Thank you, and thank you to our listeners. We'll be next week. We will be talking about crime-free multifamily properties with an expert from the Des Moines, Iowa Police Department. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye now.
Goodbye.